Hot Mike. Hot Mike. Hot Mike. Welcome back to Super Late at 368 special episode. Bijan is out saving the journalistic world today. Right now, it's just a Gabe and Narz show. I think you guys can see a special graphic we cooked up.
I made it, guys. I made it. I'm slowly taking names and places. I'm
Yo, right? Also, we have a fly in here that looks like it's the same fly that landed on Pence's head.
I hope not. I don't want to get COVID.
It's been flying around here, but we got a pretty special guest tonight. By the way, sorry we were gone last week. We had to take a break, recharge our batteries, visualize success. But special guest on this week, we have the phenomenal Mega Ran. He's an amazing hip-hop artist, amazing gamer, amazing content creator. We're going to have him on later on for an interview. But since it's just me and Narz right now, Narz, what you been up to, Narz? 'Cause you had a really beautiful pet project that you showed me today.
Oh man, dude, I don't want to talk about it just yet. It's a surprise. It's a surprise because she's not ready to come out of the closet yet. So we're gonna leave her be. But I am gonna say I've been playing a lot of Genshin Impact, and I've been playing a lot of Phasmophobia. I'm actually playing Phasmophobia this Saturday. Have you played the game yet, Phasmophobia? It's hype right now. It's all the rage.
Yeah, I mean, so in my DGen Discord server, Magix gets everybody hooked on whatever new game it is. They were all playing Phasmophobia, and I just watched them. And I'm like, yo, can somebody fucking die so I can see somebody die? And everybody just like this.
It's terrifying.
I'm sitting here. You don't even see a demon. You just see. The game doesn't get me. I guess we could talk about it. It didn't really excite me from what I saw. It's not a game I would spend money on. And I think after 3 hours, it will lose its magic on me. But that's just because I'm just boring.
You're not bored. I think everyone has their flavor of games, whatever. But it's definitely one of those games that has been absolutely taking Twitch and even YouTube by storm. A lot of big names and small names are all playing Phasmophobia. The beauty of it is that every game that you play is distinctly different because it's a new map and it's a new spirit. And the spirit can be a Mare or Yuri, a demon, or a poltergeist, or it could be any. It's 7 different types, and you have to figure out and investigate what it is.
I think in VR, it's a lot more exciting.
It'd be terrifying in VR.
I'm saying. I mean, it's a VR game. It was meant to be played that way.
T-Pain was playing it in VR.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
How was his reaction? Was he getting scared as shit?
He was calling. I'm not gonna repeat some of the words that he was saying, but he was calling and cussing out the spirit, get your ass here. And I was like, damn, I love T-Pain. I'm so glad he's on Twitch now.
All the hip hop artists are migrating to Twitch, which seems like a very natural transition because you go through hip hop, you see a whole bunch of references to video games, anime, all types of nerd geek culture because the same heads who grew up watching hip hop grew up watching fucking Voltron or
exactly. And our guest tonight is an epitome of that. Literally a mixture between two things he loves: hip hop, rap, and obviously video games. And you're gonna see it blend so.
He is at that intersection. But since we're talking about stuff like this, how about we get into the news, Narz?
Yeah, we'll hold off for that. So Instagram is celebrating its 10th anniversary. A lot of people are super excited because you can change the icon on your phone to an older version of it. And I'm like, that's cute or whatever. But give me make the shit work. Make the platform actually work.
Really doesn't work for you?
It doesn't work for me. Listen, maybe because I don't have 10K followers. So if you want to follow me.
Wait, do you have an iPhone?
Yeah, I do.
That's not an iPhone.
It's in my bag.
That's why it doesn't work, because using an Android phone.
Why? Am I supposed to use it on an Android?
Yeah, because all the apps are better on iPhone. You know this.
You know what? Whatever.
But, matter of fact, what was your first picture on Instagram that you ever took?
You know what's so funny? It was a picture of me wearing my, what's that thing? My Dota 2 scarf. I know. Why are you making that face?
Because I'm picturing, how many years ago was that?
Oh, God. 7, 8 years ago.
I'm picturing somewhat baby Narz wearing her Dota scarf like this. With the peace signs up.
You got to have the peace sign, though. That's...
Maybe Zune can find that image at some point during the show.
Nah, I archived the shit.
Oh, you archived that shit?
It's not feng shui with my grid right now.
Okay. It's gotta fit the feed.
Yeah, exactly. It's very crisp.
I haven't gone through the archiving of my Instagram. I kind of just leave everything up there. And the very first photo I have is the generic picture of a sky with, I forgot what filter, that I was like, oh my God, the sky with this filter. And I took it on my iPod Touch. and I'm just like, I gotta leave this here just because this is where I started on Instagram. And it's interesting the things we've used Instagram for over the years and how it's evolved over these last 10 years from just like a stupid app that you take photos on to like an actual media platform that people use. Like you use it to build your brand, and it's like it's a thing that people copy and want to be like every day, and it's pretty fucking crazy.
I was having this conversation with Holly, and we've had this conversation with Bijan, where people value high numbers like followers and verified on Instagram more than any other profile. And it's crazy because like we were trying to like, we're not gonna say who, but we're trying to audit an Instagrammer to see if she got really 50,000 followers. And
why don't you say who it is?
No, cause I'm trying. I'm not tirando puya.
Listen, I want you should want the smoke at all times.
I don't want the smoke. Not right
fine.
now. But
I'll find out who it is.
It's funny because like there is no like pure way to be able to verify certain followers on Instagram. So if someone bought followers, there's no way to really figure that out unless you pay for a service to figure that out.
I mean, also it's a situation that I think that what makes Instagram so. What can help you grow on Instagram is actually who's following you, because when those people are followed, like let's say if you're followed by a Myth, TSM Myth, right? You'll get a whole bunch of Fortnite kids following you because whenever they follow Myth, you get pulled up in the recommended to be followed. So you could get an influx of followers that don't even interact with your content just because Myth is following you. Whereas like on Twitter, nobody does that. YouTube, nobody does that. That's just a common thing in Instagram that people tend to do. Like I've gotten hit up from people because Myth follows me on Instagram, and like random Fortnite kids always follow me, and I'm just like, dude, I've never talked to you people. I've never seen you in my photos or anything.
Right.
So it could be a combination of many things.
I think it's important to also know if you're a content creator specifically on Twitch. Instagram's a great place to post your clips, your Twitch clips and stuff like that. That's how Ninja actually got picked up by Drake, because Ninja would post all of his videos and clips from Twitch, like his highlights, and Drake would see them, and literally Drake dropped a DM and was like, yo, Ninja, can we play? And he was like, yeah, sure.
And him and
like,
Travis Scott and Drake.
Yeah, and they got saved, and then boom, Ninja became a big thing.
Like if you're a gamer, right, and you're a content creator who streams or whatever, if you're trying to figure out Instagram, a great Instagram to look at is to go look at the 100 Thieves Gaming Instagram and just see how they handle their individual content creators and how they post, and that'll give you the whole layout and ammunition on how you should structure your posts to get better engagement, know how to repurpose your content, or follow Blackbeard and hit him up, and maybe he'll give you some insight too. But enough on Instagram.
Yeah.
What else we got going on?
So this probably isn't like good news for you or I, but like Steve and Alex got Smash. Apparently the two new characters for Smash Brothers is Steve and Alex, which are from Minecraft. They're going to be dropping October 13th. What are your thoughts on that? A lot of people. I have a lot of mixed thoughts about it, but I want to know.
So I will be 100% happy if Steve comes to Smash with these two soundtracks, and they could be one for Steve and one for Alex. If they come with the cat and dog music discs from Minecraft. I love those songs so much in Minecraft. I mean, it's kind of a meme. I think, Minecraft, Steve and Alex, probably the most iconic characters of the modern era of gaming. Like, if you don't know what Minecraft is, then I don't know, maybe you don't live in society at this point. It's too ubiquitous. You have to have it. And I think it's a natural fit to have in the Smash because you have people like Banjo-Kazooie and like Mr. Game & Watch, like it was really gimmicky with the way he moves. So it definitely fits that meta. I would have liked to have seen other characters that have historical gaming context versus Steve and Alex, but maybe there's something big coming out with Minecraft soon for the Nintendo Switch or whatever, and maybe it's like a way to cross-promote. But what do you think?
Honestly, so when you actually get Steve and Alex, you get 6 of their different characters. So there's like 3, because there's 3 skins for both Steve and Alex. So you get 6 actual different characters for it. In my personal opinion, I think it was a money grab. I think Microsoft definitely paid
because the Xbox coming out.
Yeah, I think Minecraft or Microsoft paid a lot of money to be on the Smash platform.
They paid for the spot.
I think they did. And when it comes to Sakurai, nothing against him, but he's gonna do whatever he needs to do to make his game sell. And if it means having to have these 2 characters, Steve and Alex from Minecraft, aka Microsoft the Overlords, then they're gonna do it because they want to make money. A and B, like, they want to open up their market to a different demographic, which is like kids who are into Minecraft.
It's funny, using that narrative that you put right here, if that's the case, why isn't Goku and Naruto in Smash?
Because a lot of young kids don't watch.
Okay.
DBZ.
My Hero Academia.
I mean, that's a good point. Maybe but see, the thing is that I don't feel like Sakurai is thinking that way. I think he's not thinking that way, and simply because he needs to he just wants the bottom line. He doesn't think there's enough money in it.
Okay, so using what you said right now, where it's like, okay, maybe not too many people watch DBZ. Who the fuck plays Mr. Game & Watch? Who plays Dr. Mario? Who plays Pac-Man games in 2020? I mean, there are some really Banjo and Kazooie. There's some really archaic characters in there that no one really follows to this day. I mean, like, you go all the way back to the old Fire Emblem characters, like Ike. I love Ike, but he's old as hell. Martha's old as hell.
Well, that was because of their new Fire Emblem game that was coming out. They wanted to cross.
And you always got to have a million Fire Emblem characters in any Smash game anyway. But there's certain characters, like, I look at them and I'm like, okay, that's cool to have because I appreciate it and I love it. But if we're using that angle that you put forward, I'm like, dude, there's so many modern people who... Where's Doom Guy? Where's Doom Guy in Smash?
Well, suavemente.
Suave, okay.
We're starting with Steve and Alex, Minecraft baby
Where's
steps.
Master Chief? The most important person of last generation's consoles.
But this is the other thing. Maybe they're making maybe this is the seed to see if Microsoft characters do well in Smash, maybe they'll bring they'll bring Master Chief. Maybe they'll bring Cortana.
I need RB and Chief in the fucking game, okay?
But
I need the energy sword.
We will see. We will see.
Okay.
So October 13th, it drops. If you're going to go get it, let us know how they play. Obviously, who knows if they're going to be the new meta, but exciting news, yeah?
Speaking of the October 13th, I don't know if we have that specifically following up, but I'll throw it out there because it just feels like a natural thing. October 13th, if you don't know, is the Apple press conference. Everybody's been waiting for that because we had the original press conference earlier in September, and they debuted the new iPad, new Apple Watch, and they didn't show the phone, which is what everybody is always like, what is the phone? What is the phone? And the new phone's going to be 5G, apparently. This is according to rumors. Not going to be a new body design. It's going to be the same iPhone 11 design that if you suckered into. This is the one I have with 3 cameras and stuff. I mean, I love the phone, but there's nothing that seems to be new outside of the 5G connectivity and antennas that are going to be in there to make you buy the phone, unless the camera's going to be like 8K, 60 frames a second. I don't know. It's probably going to be over $1,000. Should you buy it in quarantine COVID pandemic situation? You probably shouldn't if you have a recent phone in the last 2 years. But Narz, what do you think about this?
So see, the thing with me, I don't necessarily buy an Apple Watch unless I absolutely need one.
Okay.
So like I have a 7 Plus.
Okay.
And I'm good until
Why do you have 2 phones?
Well, one was for business, one's for personal. So I take business very seriously.
Is the iPhone your business phone?
Yeah.
Is that because you find that more people tend to have iPhones who are in your interactions?
No, because certain apps don't work on Android. So like certain like Instagram apps, like either editing or Photoshop or video editing, they don't work on Android, but they work on iOS. Mm-hmm. So like I have them both for like different purposes. Yeah. Okay. So it just it's unfortunate, but like not all apps are created equally.
Is there any way you would convert to an all iOS lifestyle?
Nah.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Why?
Because there are some apps that are on Android that are just not on iOS.
And what are those apps?
I mean, like teleprompter apps that are for free, different game apps that are for free, different apps for function like calendar invites or stuff like that. Stuff for my business. Yeah.
Okay, all right, I can respect that. I can respect that position. Yeah. Some people are like, oh, well, you don't have the flexibility with an iOS device that you would an Android. I personally have never tried to make my phone a computer. I just like my phone to apps, which video, tweet, yell at somebody, blah, 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 blah. But speaking of apps, I think Zune may have added this or not yet. I'm going to add it here because I'm riffing on it. David Dobrik secured $4 million from Alexis Ohanian's VC group. That was the direct investment group into his app, David's Disposable, which is a disposable camera app that David Dobrik, if you look him on Instagram, and if you don't know who David Dobrik is, another thing, you probably live under a rock. He carries an actual disposable camera with him, and always takes pictures of him and his friends, and he has a separate Instagram called David's Disposable. And people love the photos he takes on his disposable camera. So he created this app so people could recreate that same type of feel, kind of like an Instagram thing. You take a photo, you can't see it to the next day because it's developing in the app, like baking and all that. But matter of fact, let's take a picture right now because I have it. I want to see what it looks like. I downloaded it today.
And if you guys don't know, Alexis Ohanian is the CEO and co-founder of Reddit. He's very well known.
I don't even know if that even
was
good.
I don't even know if that was good, but speaking of Apple, also Apple is suing a recycling partner for reselling more than 100,000 iPhones. Woo! I don't know if you heard this, but there's iPhones, iPads, watches, and so the apparently the company was hired to dismantle them, but instead they just resold them. So
I would have done that.
That was a reselling of over 103,000 iPhones, iPads, and watches that were supposed to be disassembled, but they weren't disassembled, they weren't destroyed. And so apparently Apple seeks to obtain at least $31 million from, which is about in Canadian dollars 22.7, from the former partner. The recycling firm denies all wrongdoings. So
it's, I talked about this earlier when we were shooting 368 Seconds, which is our new show that comes out on Friday on Instagram. And I talked about how the resale market in other countries like Japan, China, India, etc., is massive for iOS devices. When I was in Tokyo, there was so many iPhone resale businesses, like for iPhone 6s and 5s and stuff like that. And that made me immediately think of that. Like, wow, these people are selling like these really old phones that they just refurbished for like $400 or $500 just because of the way phones get released globally. And just how like on the other countries, they don't really care about having the latest and greatest phone. They just want a phone that fucking works at the end of the day. And dude, I give it the power play. That's a real hustler's move. I would have done it myself. And of course I'm going to claim there was no wrongdoing, man. We were just recycling it by giving it to somebody else. It's good now. But, I mean, beautiful play. You think Apple's going to win that?
I mean, technically, because of TOS services, they obviously went into a contract with this company to, like, dismantle and destroy them so that they don't resell them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're going to get in a lot of shit.
But what if they did dismantle them and then they just put them back together? Is that the loophole?
That is the loophole, though. That would be because if you dismantle them, but you didn't destroy them. See, it really depends on the contract that they had.
Yeah.
If the contract states that they were supposed to destroy them and then distribute the parts, and they didn't apply, and they did do that, but then they just resold the parts, maybe they could get away with it. I think the contract wasn't specific that they couldn't resell it, and that's where they're trying to like fall.
Okay.
Like literally trying to. That's the loophole.
Well, then we'll have to find out in the coming weeks if Apple gets that $31 million that they obviously need for some reason.
Yeah. Speaking of hardware parts, we saw the insides of the PlayStation 5. It looks pretty cute. It's pretty big. Apparently, Zoom Girl said it looked like it's as big as a 5-year-old child or something.
Yeah, that was the photo they compared it to. That was like the life size. So this 5-year-old child over here. I mean, hey, man.
So what are your thoughts on the specs? The look, the way they
I'm
look.
going to be honest with you, right? I'm not even going to act like I know the specs. So can you tell me the specs?
Yeah, so apparently it has an AMD Ryzen chip inside. I can tell you exactly. See, the funny thing is that the article doesn't necessarily list it all inside of it. So like they have the parts all over everywhere. Let's see. 10 gigabytes transfers and super speed. It does have an HDMI USB port. M.2 interface with the latest high-speed PCIe 4.0.
It's a lot of names.
It has a bay for the SS drive inside of it. Let's see. Here we go. It has the AMD Ryzen Zen 2 CPU and the RDNA 2 Radeon graphics processor. It can clock at 16 gigabytes over 448 gigabytes per second. It looks pretty cute. The GDR6 system memory looks pretty dope because it has 8 units of them.
Yeah, I'm going to be pretty real with you. She just said a whole lot of shit that I didn't understand. It just sounded like really big names and just like this is going to be tech. Look, I went to Reddit to build my PC. I didn't build my PC myself. Yeah. I mean, it's going to run powerful games. It's going to be over 4K. It's going to be super fast.
It looks cute. It looks cute. And
I mean, at least
I
wish the outside looked cute. I wish like the outside looked cute. Why the inside got? I wish like what was on the outside matters.
The Xbox is black. I mean,
yeah, but the Xbox like blends into the background.
Yeah, the background of the darkness.
We have the Xbox Series X, no Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
We have the Xbox Series X here. Actually, I don't know if I can talk about that. Danny Pena, thank you.
It's probably just blending into the background.
Exactly, like it looks.
It's probably behind us, and we can't even see it.
It looks like a small version of like that Lenovo Legion
it just
PC.
Looks like another PC.
I think it looks fine. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger, how everybody was making it seem, but it really wasn't that huge. I think I'd rather take the design of the Xbox over the PlayStation, just because that fucking PlayStation just looks so hit, bro. It looks so bad. Who sat there and said, "Yo, this design, I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna change gaming for the next 10 years."
But the thing is that Sony expects the PlayStation 5 to outsell the PlayStation 4. So
please tell me how.
So explain to me why you think that's wrong.
Okay. You got my angle? There is no possible way in a quarantine pandemic situation where people need to save money that you're going to sell more than the PS4, which was the highest selling Sony gaming product, but after the PS2 in the first year. I think in the first year, the PS4 sold 7.3 million units in its first 2 quarters. I could be wrong, but that was the number I remember looking up. No one's going to buy that thing. One, you have no games at launch that are really amazing. That'd be like, oh, yo, I need to get this because there's a new Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. There's no Legend of Zelda type game that Sony's going to have at the beginning to make you want to buy this thing, right? You can play pretty much all the games that are going to be available on PS5, at least at launch, on your PlayStation. So why would I spend money on this thing? It's going to be $400, $500. You don't need to upgrade. If you have a PC, you're fine. If you have a PS4, you're still fine. Maybe year 2, it'll outsell. I don't think it'll ever outsell, and they have fucking audacity that's going to happen.
Yeah, so for references, apparently the CEO, Jim Ryan, said that he believes that they will outsell their PlayStation 4, which sold 7 million PlayStation 4s before April. So they're thinking PlayStation 5 is going to sell more than 7 million before April.
Yeah, but they had, coming off the PlayStation 4, they had so much hype because it was the new generation of consoles. Everybody was really excited for that E3. And in that E3, Xbox was like doing all this weird gaming stuff where they were like, hey, you can't borrow or share games anymore, right? It's like it's locked to your console and da-da-da-da. The console's $500. And Sony just came in and undercut the entire Xbox panel, and that got everybody invested in Sony, and that's why everybody went on and bought it. You look at today's, like the 2 consoles coming out, that conversation really isn't there. Like, who's really hyped for this console? Are you hyped for these consoles?
I'm hyped for the games. See, that's the thing, and I agree with you there because I'm hyped for the games more than I'm hyped for the consoles. I'm not buying the PlayStation 5 because it's a better console. I'm buying it because there are games on that console I want to play. I want to play the new Final Fantasy game. I want to play the new God of War game.
Yes.
I don't give a shit about the console. I give a shit about the games on the console. That's why someone's going to get an Xbox more because they want to play the new Halo Infinite because they know it's not going to be on PlayStation 5.
But are you going to have those games in your first year?
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, the games are not coming out until next year. That's another thing. They're not on launch games.
I mean, that's the kind of issue that I'm getting at here is because like we had a whole bunch of delays this past year with games, such as like Cyberpunk 2077 got pushed back like twice.
Yeah,
we're finally getting it in November. They just went gold. Congrats, we're getting the game. And it's like if COVID and the pandemic continues as is, which it looks like it's going to be around for a while, are we going to get those games when they're supposed to come out? Like Halo got delayed too, so like that was a big thing for Xbox. We're getting this game to come out. Actually, we need to like work on it because memes.
Imagine the PlayStation 5 gets released, right? Let's say.
Okay.
Imagine it gets
Paint me
released.
the perfect picture.
No, it's not the perfect picture. This is actually going to be really sad.
Okay.
But imagine the PlayStation 5 gets released and they have too many consoles and not enough people buying it, and they literally are overstocked.
That's a great theory. And that coincides with the pre-orders because the pre-orders, I feel like they're controlling the pre-orders so they can curate the illusion of it's sold out.
Oh
yeah, and then like, oh, there's a restock.
Gotta get it right
because
away.
there's really not that much interest.
I don't know. And you know what's crazy? This is definitely going to affect resale value because there are going to be some people that are like scalpers.
Dude, you can't even get the new AMD NVIDIA graphics cards. You can't get the 3070, the 3080, the 3090.
Yo, if anybody want a 3090, I got a friend that has.
You got 3090?
I got a 3090.
How much?
15 of them. Let me know if you want
15
it. Anyway.
3090s?
Yeah.
Your friend's part of the problem.
I know. I love it. Scalpers. Woo woo.
What else? What else we got going on?
All right. So the Supreme Court is taking Google and Oracle on the last time, apparently. So long story short, 10 years ago, Oracle sued Google over some languaging. Apparently, the company Oracle owns the Java. I guess they own the language or is similar to the language. And so when Google was using it for their iOS environment, pretty much a lot of technical things in it, but it's been going on for so long, and they spent millions of dollars in all of this back and forth that it's finally going to be presented in front of the Supreme Court whether or not Google illegally used their language to be able to produce apps, yada yada yada. What do you think about this?
I don't know too much about this, but I'm gonna act like I do.
Billions of dollars are at
stake,
Gabe. Billions of freaking dollars.
It's like, so I'm looking at this as like the dummy that I am, right? It's like, okay, Java, probably the most used coding language in the world at this point. I mean, almost every old enterprise is pretty much built on it. I don't know how you can claim copyright or some sort of infringement when almost every developer in the world is using Java in some capacity. So I just need more education on this because how do you win it? If you didn't win it 10 years ago, you're probably not going to win it again. And Google's just going to be like, dude, we're Google, you're Oracle, like start boxing in your own weight class because we're way too fucking big for you. But I mean, that's my. I don't really have that big of a take on it just because I'm not too familiar with it.
I mean, pretty much it's just they're fighting over the language because apparently, like, I mean, this has been 10 years, like,
yeah.
So like, it's been a while, but like, it's finally facing off. Everyone's like, it's anticlimactic, whatever. Whether or not this is going to affect the future, I don't know, but. If, let's say, Google ends up having to pay out Oracle,
that's so much money.
That is so much freaking
billions
money.
Of dollars.
It's not, yeah, it's in the billions for sure. But then Oracle is the same company that's picking up TikTok, so it's like.
Oracle's making a push, man. They're trying to come back in 2021 with a massive new portfolio. What else we got going on?
Speaking of portfolio, Golden Joystick Award is coming out. It's the 30th year. It's coming out in November with a renewed format,
30
apparently.
Years.
So I'm not going to go through all of the categories, but there's a lot of freaking categories. They've added 2 different categories. One is like best community game. Fall Guys is on there. Shout outs to Fall Guys. Good stuff. Fall Guys is in 3 of these categories, by the way.
It was the best game of this year.
Seriously, unfortunately, I don't know. There's different game of the years for each console. So like PC has its own game of the year, Nintendo has its own game of the year. I will not go through all of them. That's so give
everybody a chance at getting some burn. Like I'm like, dude, just pick a game of the year. Like what was the game everybody was playing?
Yeah. So apparently for best family game, nominations are Animal Crossing, New Horizons, Fall Guys, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Minecraft Dungeons, Paper Mario the Origami King, Moving Out, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics, and Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
Okay, I think off the rip, you have to give it to Animal Crossing because Fall Guys is definitely not a family game because you'll hate your fucking family playing Fall Guys. Animal Crossing 100% family game of the year.
And that's a new category that they added for this year.
The wholesome category.
The wholesome category, yeah. And then they have best game community for 2020. It's a new category. And that's on that is Fall Guys, Minecraft, Animal Crossings again, Dreams, Sea of Thieves, Warframe, Fortnite, and Final Fantasy 14.
I have to give it to Animal Crossing again because so much content that was made between its release and now has been amazing. People have done talk shows on it. People have created so much merch. Like Animal Crossing was was the thing in quarantine when it began that everybody was like, thank God this game is out because it's like I can get a little bit of actual life back just through this game. So I have to give it to Animal Crossing, but I would give social media content and platform to Fall Guys.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we're going to do one last category. Esports Game of the Year.
Ooh.
Is it Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, League of Legends, Valorant, Fortnite, NTT IndyCar Series iRacing, Counter-Strike Global Offense, FIFA 20, or Call of Duty Modern Warfare? What do you think?
So I think that there was a game that you said was pretty. Can you read me those like midway?
Fortnite.
Yeah. Go a little bit higher.
Valorant.
Okay, perfect. There it is. So I was forgetting the name. I'm like, to put Valorant on the list of esport title or game of the year when it doesn't really have an esport scene established yet is pretty like, what are you talking about? They probably bought that spot because I'm just like, this makes no sense. I think it would come between League of Legends, CS:GO, and Call of Duty. Because Call of Duty was supposed to be their first year doing the CDL, everything. And then we just saw recently someone got paid for winning. Who was the player again?
Oh, it was Clayster.
$260,000 for winning the tournament. Like,
well, it's the whole, it's the league.
It's the league, yeah. Like, for being in this league, you're paying someone $250,000. Like, I kind of got to be like, Call of Duty is coming strapped right now. I mean, we could always say every year it's League of Legends because League of Legends is unfortunately the greatest game in the world, and it's a terrible fucking addiction.
Praise be to Timo.
Don't you ever say that name around me again. And here's the fucking fly. What do you think is game of the year for that esport?
Esports Game of the Year, honestly, I agree with you. Valorant is there prematurely. I mean, there are tournaments that are happening for Valorant, but we haven't seen big mainstream.
No one's hype about it.
Yeah, there are pro players for different teams. You see 100 Thieves,
yes.
You see FlyQuest and stuff like that. But there's no big tournament for Valorant, nor is Riot pushing that. For me, it's gonna be League of Legends. Like I
Riot Plant.
Like literally, I think of like KDA, the baddest.
Oh yeah.
I think of like World Championship. Like I'm watching Worlds right now, and they rest in
The
peace.
Jordan sneaker they're releasing.
Yo,
everything.
Nike. Yo, those Nike.
Dope.
I have a lot to say about that.
You want to talk about it right now?
Fine.
Go ahead.
I fucking hate that shoe.
You do?
I hate the shoes. I really, really do. I'm so disappointed because I see what they did with Louis Vuitton and then what they did with Nike. It doesn't translate. Like with the Louis Vuitton stuff, you could tell Kiana was on that. Like you didn't even have to see Kiana on it because it was, you know, like they blended some of her accents, like her weapon was in there. A lot, and the colors were in there too. But you saw the stripes from her clothing was in there too. Like that was a beautiful collab. Nike literally just put colors on this and was like,
I mean, it was based on the trophy, so they picked the colorway of the trophy.
No.
I mean, unless they were gonna, I mean, look, you know who they should have contacted if you want something you want, like to touch on what you did. Nike should have contacted the sneaker surgeon, who you should look up on Instagram. He recreates like iconic Nike silhouettes with like high-end designer materials, like python skin and like weird shit like that. They should have hit him up to do like, we're only making 100 pairs of these. And that probably would have been a dope collab if like I'm siding with you.
Yeah.
It's just another Jordan 1 with like a metallic colorway. And I agree with you. Like they should have done something a little bit more creative. But like, I am shocked that you're that mad about it. You're probably still gonna buy it. Be real.
Off. I'm so pissed off.
You're probably still gonna buy it.
No, I'm
you gonna buy it. Yeah, you are. That's why you have a little smirk on the side right now. Because if the opportunity comes, you're gonna put them Jordans on at TwitchCon.
If I was given Nike
with her KDA hoodie and her KDA hat. And she's gonna have the whole fit when we can go back to LCS.
Yo, but seriously, I would kill for like some KDA Nike kicks.
100%.
Yo, oof, and that gold rim, like that gold purple from Akali's. Oof, you know what, girl, bye. Call me Riot Games. Anyways, TikTok star Bella Poarch. Looks like there's rumors that she's gonna be picked up by 100 Thieves.
So I threw this in last minute because I think it's an interesting conversation how the orgs that work in esports are evolving their pickups for their content creator side of their teams. And Bella Poarch, if you don't know, massive TikTok star. Really, she just does like faces like on TikTok to songs, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, ooh, she's so cute. Ooh, so she's great. Oh my God, kawaii, haha." And she's pretty dope too because she was in the Navy all the time. Like interesting person. And she's been going to 100 Thieves, wearing merch, shooting videos at the compound. And Nico Lowe was the most recent gaming heavy content creator they picked up. Okay, Boomer Girl, if you didn't know. So, I mean, 100 Thieves is constantly, and this is why I like them so much, they're always pushing the envelope. Mm-hmm. And Nate Shot knows that, okay, if we want to be relevant outside of the esports circle, we have to incorporate these other things that I feel like natural fits. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a great thing. And after they got Nico Lowe, I feel like TSM was like, you know what, they're onto something. Let's sign GM Hikaru, who's a chess player. So it's like they're trying weird things. But what do you think about this?
I think it's great. I think it's amazing because at the end of the day, like, yeah, you're going to make money in the tournaments and stuff like that, but you're not going to make a big impression in the culture unless you start encompassing diversity, like diverse different content creators from different platforms. And that's how the 100 Thieves platform is going to grow. Like Nate Shot is freaking
love him, man.
Yo, he's genius, bro. And when he talked about his vision like years ago when he was just a pro player, people laughed at him. Yeah. And he was just like, fuck y'all, I'm just going to do my own stuff. And so he was sick and tired of being in other esports teams who just made his own. And look at him.
Dude, he's the fucking Jay-Z of esports, bro.
I mean, let's not go that far.
What are you talking about? From rags to riches?
I mean, but there are other people that have like double lift. That's a rags to riches stories. Being kicked out of his own house by his own mom and dad and then living on freaking what's his name? Couch for like forever. Yo, that's a story from rags to riches. High Lamb is a story from rags to riches. That guy had a collapsed lung and still went to the world.
The reason why I say Nate Shot is the Jay-Z of gaming because he went from flipping burgers to being a CEO of a team and an organization.
I mean, I think
that's why I make that reference.
You know what? That's a really good show segment, just FYI. Yeah. Like, we should do TikToks of rags to riches from esports and gaming. But we shall move on.
How you build something and then skip on? Okay,
Ricky Desktop is the most viral beat maker on TikTok. He's made those famous beats. I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't know how he does it half the time. He throws some like words and then he's like, bloop,
It's simple music.
So
It's funny.
simple.
It's catchy, and I mean that's what it takes to be a really big creator on TikTok. He's had so many viral songs on the platform that you've probably heard and have been
They're not even
brainwashed
songs.
by.
They're literally like 15 seconds, like little beats.
Yeah.
And people have and that's literally how you make money now. Like if you guys are out there and you're like, yo, I make music, whatever. TikTok is a great platform to take that music and let other people duet with it and then make it their own.
Get a couple friends to like maybe create a dance to your song and put it out there, and then like, you know, someone else, oh, I'm gonna do this dance too. I mean, dude, there's so many ways for content creators to find their way now in 2020. Like there's like, if you really want to make something happen, there's a fucking way to do it. Maybe one day we'll have Ricky on to talk a little bit more about how he goes about creating a song in the future.
I think that would be a dope idea. We should talk. And then maybe he can give us tips about how we can make our own beats.
Yo, we're trying to create 12 days of trap miss.
Yo, right here. So in the holidays, we're going to release our first album. How about that?
That's pretty early. That's pretty early.
The album will have 2 songs.
Have you even made a beat yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it earlier, 12 Days of Trap Miss. I've been trying to get this trap album done for years. And she's like, yo, let's make this album. I'm like, yeah, okay, we could probably do it like next year, you know? Now you want to do it like
this year.
To Christmas is like 2 months away.
Exactly.
All right, you better get
All right, chat, you're going to hold us too. You got to add us like every single day. At Gabe, mostly. Just be like.
Why I got to be added?
Because I'm already making the music.
Oh,
you got to think of the lyrics.
Don't worry, it's on the spot.
All right, there we go. All right, awesome. Oh, and we got one more thing we had to add for today.
Okay.
Which completely slipped my mind now. I feel like tomorrow, Unidos Online.
Yes.
So me, Gabe, Holly, and Zoom Girl all did a panel for Unidos Online. It's a celebration of Hispanic, Latinx, Spaniard culture. So anyone who speaks Spanish or doesn't speak Spanish but comes from a Spanish home, you guys are invited to join us for a panel tomorrow at noon at twitch.tv/ I think it's Unidos Online. And you can check it out. It's a whole 3-day like convention, online convention. It's Hispanic, Spanish, Latin, everyone talking about their life being a content creator, a gamer. And we're super excited. I'm super glad that you guys were a part of it as well.
It's also like, even if you're not Latin, Latinx, Hispanic, whichever you classify as, it's also a great episode because we touched on a few things in that panel, such as, you know, not being so caught up in how you sound, and like we talked about how like people, especially in the Latin community, like, you know, you may have like a different sounding accent that's not normal if Spanish was your first language, and people get really caught up on that. And I talked about how you should own that thing, make it part of your story. And, you know, more people need to that because not everybody speaks English as a first language. Like, the world doesn't revolve around English. There's so many different languages out there. And, you know, the Spanish community is super diverse for that as well. And great episode. Narz did her thing as always. She was the moderator. She shared a lot of great different stories. If you want to learn more about Zune, she dropped some gems. Also, Holly did. So, yeah, definitely check it out tomorrow, 12 p.m. EST.
12 p.m. EST. And the panel is called You Do Not Have to Speak Spanish to Be Latinx.
I speak zero
That's
fucking
very
Spanish.
Important. You do not have to be Spanish. And we reminisce about
talk about some family stories.
Yeah, family stories. Talk about our favorite food, our favorite Spanish food, stuff like that, our favorite Spanish singer. So check that out tomorrow. If for whatever reason you didn't know what it was, just make sure to follow all of our socials. Will be more links coming out in the next 24 hours. More on that. But moving on, we have an amazing guest today.
Oh, big guest.
Big guest.
Massive guest.
Massive.
He's a great performer, but we're gonna go to a break right now to get him ready because I think he's still eating. We have to ping him real quick. But yeah, so we'll be taking a quick break, and when we come back, we will be coming with the Mega Ran. All right, check it, right? Let me tell you something right now. This person, this human being, was an escape project from Dr. Light's lab, okay? This guy was engineered to spit nothing but bars and flagrants, all right? This man is blue just like the Blue Bomber, Rock Uman, and he's got to run soon because he's going to get nominated for a Grammy after this. This is why he's got to leave us a little bit early. But it is the Twitch sensation, freestyling machine, the man of the hour, the man with the power. It is the Blue Bomber himself, Mega fucking Ran.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, Ran?
Oh man, I'm enjoying the conversation, man. I appreciate y'all having me. It's always good to talk to some folks, you know. So I like what y'all do. I'm a big fan. I'm gonna just say off top. I appreciate what y'all do. I'm a big fan of 368. So yeah, it's real dope to be here.
I mean, I know later on in the show, I told you we're gonna have you do a one pinky of death freestyle. I got a beat ready.
Give me all the fingers, whatever. I'm with it. I'm with it. But I wasn't expecting it, but you know, you're supposed to always be ready. So
of course. But Narz, you said we had two subs
Yeah,
today in the
shout
chat.
outs to Joe Lee Gear and Dan O'Mac. You guys subscribed with the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. Enjoy the awesome emotes by yours truly and this fabulous dude over here. Thank you guys so much. Want to give a little shout out.
It pays for our
that.
Metro cards.
Yes,
it means a lot.
It means a lot.
That 275 does hit. But Rand, yo, what have you been up to, man? How's everything going right now?
Things are great. It's just, getting a hold of things after, post COVID and getting used to staying in the house. Like, I used to do a lot of traveling. I'm speaking like it was 10 years ago. Like, back in my day, we were touring the world. But it literally feels like 10 years that we've been at home. So yeah, just picking up new skills, learning new stuff, and trying to keep it interesting. Being able to spend more time at home has got my brain going in a million different directions. So yeah, it just keeps me being creative. So just been streaming a lot, been writing a lot, collaborating a whole lot, and just learning new stuff. That's really what it's been all about. I think just learning every day. Every day is a school day.
That's actually a beautiful way to think about things, right? Everything's a school day. I wanted to actually touch on that, what you said, like being in quarantine, you've been exercising your creative muscle, which I feel like heard from a lot of people. They've either got into a creative rut, right? Like, I don't feel as inspired to do things or create content. What have you been learning and trying out that has been like keeping the wheels turning in your head?
I try to write things that I wouldn't normally write. Like, I'm always working on a project that I think will scare me. I think that's my job as a creative, to be like, I gotta scare or surprise myself. So I just start writing in new ways, start making beats a little more. I'm streaming, whether it's me playing a video game or recording the actual recording process, like filming that, like live studio stuff. I'm learning green screen. I'm DJing. I was already doing a little bit of that stuff, but now like it's just giving me time to really hone in on these crafts and like figure out what I want to do. Like as far as performing is my first love, but it made me think about like, what if there's a world where there won't be performances, and now I got to think about like what else I would like to do, so it's just, yeah.
You're doing a good job at that because, like, no offense, I stalk you. I've been stalking you ever since we met last year. So, long story short, I met Megaran last year in Japan for Square Sounds. I literally played them your freestyle, which you did back then. I played them Sumimasen. I played them your freestyle, and they were like, "Yo, I can't believe we're having this dude on here." That's why we were so hyped. But I think it's so cool how you ended up doing shows on your own. Like you post them on Instagram. You're doing like live shows as well with other artists on your stream. How has that kind of like changed the dynamic of the content you're creating now that you're incorporating like yourself as this show?
Oh yeah, it's like I was just talking to my manager about that. Like, yo, I've become like kind of like a show host. You know what I mean? Which is also cool. Like, it's just adding another thing that I do. People always say like with the freestyle that I do, like involving people, and they were like, "Oh, you're just such a great MC." Like in the meaning of MC, like master of ceremonies, like a person who can run the show. So I was just like, well, that definitely encompasses more than just being a rapper, so it's just allowing me to just flex a bunch of other like talents. And I love to showcase other talent. Like I know so many talented musicians, comedians, beat makers, whatever. So I bring them on every week. We do this thing called Random House where, literally I'm just streaming and, we patch into their feed and have a crazy time together, and it's been helpful to me as well as to like fans and supporters because they were able to get a piece of me. Like I've had people come and like, "Yo, I've seen you 10 times, but it's still great to see you." And another person will be like, "Yo, I never thought I'd see you because I live in this tiny corner of the world. And, I didn't think I'd ever be able to see a live show." So it's been dope to be able to do that and bring that to people. So, yeah, thank you. I've been stalking you too, Narz. So I want to say congratulations on everything you're doing.
Thank you, babe.
So speaking about like you having these shows with different musicians, beat makers, etc., are we gonna expect a mega band soon?
Yes, I think so. Man, when performances are a thing again, like we're gonna form like Voltron and just jump back out. It's gonna be crazy. Like that's what I'm really thinking of, just gearing up for the moment that we can like let this out. Like you pick up new skills, you pick up new friends along the way, and I'm like a freaking Katamari, like I'm just rolling and picking up new things along the way. And then by the end, like I'm gonna be like, look at what you created,
this monster,
this big quarantine monster. But yeah, like Absolutely. I think a giant collaboration set. I've been thinking about it. I dream about it. I wake up like, okay, we're gonna do crazy cosplay. We're gonna do, bunch of. I would be picking up, making a beat over here, jumping over here, rapping, jumping over there, playing a freaking Nintendo, and a chip, doing chiptune stuff with a Game Boy, and
Hmm.
like all these crazy ideas I got. So I'm looking forward to the moment where we can kind of bust them all out.
Well, speaking of the moment, sorry, not sorry, I'm gonna
No,
take
you
this
go ahead.
away
Yeah,
from
good.
you. Congratulations on releasing Aegis Volume 2.
Thank you.
I introduced everyone to the volume. I introduced everyone on my stream to the volume as well. I have the
No,
vinyl to the first one when I met you at PAX East and I picked it up.
that's right.
Absolutely bomb. I feel like Volume 2 is definitely speaking to people now more than ever, considering with COVID and stuff like that. I think the two IPs that are my favorite are Hope and Wanderlust, just because they
Mm.
really put into perspective just kind of what we're going through. And even though we're going through the toughest times, obviously there's still hope. What was, when you were creating both of these IP, what was going through your mind at the time? What were you hoping to kind of like to express with these two IPs?
Well, when I talk to a lot of friends that make music, we're all in the same boat. So, like, some people are in the point where, like you're saying, Gabe, like, some people are just like, yo, I don't want to create at all, or I have no inspiration. And then other folks are like, yo, I got all these things I want to get out. And then one thing I heard from a lot of people were like, yo, I don't want to hear COVID music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hear how sad it is that we're in lockdown. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people say that to me. And I was like, well, I think that the Ages EPs for me are snapshots. They're freaking time capsules. Of whatever I'm into at that moment. So if I'm on lockdown, like that's what I'm going through, and it's not necessarily writing about how boring it is to sit in the house. It's talking about the issues that have affected society through this time, because now we have time to sit and think about them, and why people are depressed or why people are worried and things like that. So but it's still, I try to put a positive spin on it, because I know a lot of people are hurting out there, and I just feel like we need something to look forward to. You know what I mean? And with my love for video games is a big part of it. So Ages 2, we did it's all chiptune production. So these are beats that sound like they could have come from a Nintendo or a Game
Yeah.
Boy, but they were like flipped by my man DN3, who did a lot of really cool techniques within those to create beats out of like just a couple of little bleeps and bloops. So that was intentional, because my love for video games and old school games is always going to be there. But like, this ain't really the time to tell you the plot of Mega Man 2. You know what I'm saying? This is like, what I mean? Like, and as much as I love to do that, we're just in a different time now where it's like, yo, people are hurting. So I try to, give them a little bit of that. So there's always some reference to a video game. There's always a thing in it. I say like I made my own path, like a Metroidvania, or things like
Mm.
that, or gotta stay equipped and know who to talk to, because the game of life doesn't come equipped with a walkthrough. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah, I
So
love that line. I love that line.
having those things in mind, where it's like, okay, things that gamers will relate to, as well as people who are just going through everyday life. So that's super important to me to mix these cultures and genres and bring them together, because a lot of people, for the longest time, didn't take video game culture seriously, much like they didn't take hip hop culture seriously in the
yeah.
beginning. So I see so many similarities, and I wanna make sure that people on both sides see each other as very important components to the culture.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Rand, when it comes to hip hop. I think that one of my favorite rappers today is Chance the Rapper, right? Around the same age as
Mm,
me. He uses like anime references in his thing, like, he called himself Krillin at one point, stuff like that. And I think that the rappers who do so well today and the hip hop artists are the ones who can speak to the time now, because people are like, oh, well, it's not like old school Nas, right? Like, oh, they're not talking about being the products anymore. Like, people are rapping about the shit they love to do now. And I think that's so important as an artist to actually relate to people and like have those references. What I wanted to ask you is, as a hip hop artist, right? Hip hop is the new rock and roll, as we all know. Like, it's what everybody's on. Everybody wants a fucking trap album or some sort of version of it. What was your experience touring in Japan as a hip hop artist, and also importantly as a black man? Because I know I've been in Japan, Tokyo, like I've gone with a bunch of my friends. I have a whole bunch of like black friends. I'm Puerto Rican, Brooklyn. We're there, right? And we felt kind of like caricatures. Like, people would ask us to take pictures with us and stuff like that. So I wanted to get like, I'm not saying that's what Japan is. I'm just saying that's what I saw, and it wasn't like in a very offensive way or anything like that. But I wanted to ask you, what was your experience?
Um, I'm fortunate to have been to Japan like 6 times now, and like I remember the first time being like, yo, like we'd be in a freaking, a 7-Eleven, and like a kid will come up and just kind of grab my hand or want to touch my skin. And but yeah, I think that I understand. It's a different society, and music is the universal language. Like I
Yes.
go there, I know 2 words in Japanese, and so, but yet
What's
I'm
the two
able to
words?
sumimasen and hype.
Yo.
Hi.
Because that's what I always have to say is yes or okay, and sorry, excuse me, I'm very sorry that I'm in your way on this train. Sorry, so yeah, but the music, speaks to folks, and like I said, the cross section of video game culture and hip hop culture has definitely been so big and important to me out there. Like, I remember trying to explain to somebody. We were in Akihabara just chatting
Oof.
with two girls. They were like trying to get us to come into a maid cafe, and we're
Oh, I'm
like,
getting
well,
goosebumps right now.
you know what I mean? Like we're thinking like, oh well, should we go in there? Okay, whatever. And my friend's like, oh, he's a rapper, like explaining, and she's like, rapper, and then he says like, Mega Man, oh, Rockman, and they're like, oh, Rockman, and at the same time, the both of the girls go, and I was like, oh my gosh, Japan is everything I thought it would be. So so like it was, and they're like young kids, so I just thought like that's so dope that like young kids appreciate and respect things that that a lot of Americans have kind of like that have come and gone in American culture. But yeah, I think the cultural like the language barriers are always broken down when it comes to music and with video games. Like we all love the same stuff. So it's always been dope to go out there and play shows. They seem to get bigger and better and liver, as the years go on. So man, I just can't wait to get back. Like, but yeah, we've definitely had those moments where people are looking, people want to take pictures and things like that. But that happens everywhere. Like I've had that happen in France. There was some people following us while we were like on a tour of Versailles, and this lady behind us is like sneaking and taking selfies with us, like, and I'm like, what are you
What are
doing?
you doing?
And I'm just like, oh, well, maybe they just think, if a black person's here, they must be famous, which is wild
Wow.
to think, you know what I mean? But again, it's I'm not upset at it. I just look at it like it's just some cultural differences.
Mm.
But we can learn a lot from Japan as well as they can learn a lot from us. So I really always enjoy going there, learning something, and just talking to friends out there about it. And it's a great experience. I can't wait to get back.
I just want to say really quickly, thank you so much, Strawberry, for the raid. I do really appreciate it. Anybody here from Strawberry's raid,
Strawberry.
welcome.
Thank you, Barry.
Welcome to Super Late
Wait,
at 3
I
6
feel like this is my friend.
Strawberry?
I feel like this might be my friend Megan because her name is Strawberry. Thank you, Megan. If it is you, if
If
it's
it
not,
is you,
I'm
thank
sorry.
you. Yeah.
I actually wanted to follow up to that. What you were just saying, Damn, I had it for a second. Oh, but matter of fact, I wanted to add a word you should have in your dictionary whenever you go out there, right? Because I'm pretty sure you love ramen. Now you love ramen.
Oh yeah.
You better know kaidama. So,
What is that?
so when you go to a ramen house, whenever you run out of noodles for your broth, you can say kaidama, and you get extra noodles for like $1 or $2, and like you can essentially re-up your ramen bowl and get more food. And like one time I was at a ramen spot in Akihabara, and I'm sitting there, and all I'm hearing is dude just going kaidama, 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 and everyone's going hi, 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 and I'm looking around, I'm like, yo, these guys is getting hooked up. I gotta get on this kaidama shit. And I said that, and the dude came and dropped me a set of noodles, and it was like the best thing I've ever learned.
That's dope.
But yeah, dude, like Japan was such a great
Okay.
place. I want to ask you about producers from Japan. Do you know of Nujabes?
Yes, yes. The first time I went to Japan was with a rapper named Substantial, who did a bunch of projects with Nujabes. Like knew him personally. They hung out. So Nujabes is like the Japanese Jay Dilla.
Yep,
You know what I
yep,
mean? Like
yep.
basically the heart and soul behind what people call lo-fi hip hop now. Like people were doing this stuff for years, and
Way
now it
before.
has a cool, gentrified title on it.
Yeah.
And now it's the biggest thing on YouTube. But like he was making this stuff in the early 2000s, and like just no one even knew what to make of it. So he's making music that's like considered classic. So yeah, like Nujabes is one of my favorites of all time. And so going out there with Substantial, this was maybe 3 years after he had passed. And we went and visited his label Hideout, and they gave us a bunch of Nujabes CDs, and
Oh
they
my
were like,
God.
and they stopped and told Substantial like, like June, which is his name, June felt, like spoke so highly of you, so like it's such an honor for us to meet you. Like here's a bunch of his music, here's some posters, here's some, and it was an awesome experience, man. So yeah, big fan of Nujabes.
So, to follow up on that, what can you? Who are your main influences right now, and do any of them come from Japan?
There's a DJ, a producer, and DJ Ikawara, I believe. Also another one named Volta Masters. I've done a bunch of stuff with out there. He's in Yokohama. Um, there are so many, man. Every time we go, it seems like I run into another like dope musician or artist that I want to collaborate with. We met a dope woman by the name of Aha is her name,
That's a
AHAHU.
great fucking. That's her stage
H.
name.
And I was like, yeah, that's her stage name. Uh-huh. So I was like, yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Uh
And
huh.
then like I heard her music
Uh
and I was
huh.
like, okay, that's really dope. Like you could just be like, uh-huh,
Uh
uh-huh.
huh.
You
Yeah,
know what I
that's
mean?
solid.
I was like, that's really fire. So like, yeah, every time I go, I meet an artist that I'm like a huge fan of out there. And I like that, I don't want to like I hate to say the thing that like I hate when people say like, oh, they appreciate the real hip hop out there. Like
No, I
that's
agree with
kind of
you.
whack to say.
I agree with
But
you.
they appreciate a different style of hip hop that doesn't get a lot of love here. You know what I mean? That people might, and I'm not gonna say like real hip hop, but hip hop that's created from a different place, like not trying to be the trap banger of the week,
Yep.
but just a different, more kind of a soulful sound is what they're into. And so being able to like hear people who really respect that style of music is dope to hear. Shingo too, he's in America now, but he's Japanese. Marcus D, an American producer who lives in Japan, is another one of my favorites. We've done a bunch of stuff together. So yeah, it's like a lot. There's a ton of inspiration that comes from there. Like so, every time I go, literally, I run into a new person who I'm like, oh man, this is dope. I need to study them. We need to collaborate. Things like that. So a lot of inspiration out there.
Well,
I,
speaking
but
of collaboration, you've collaborated with so many different music producers, artists, chiptunes artists. Is there
Oh
anybody
yeah.
that's out there that you really want to produce music with? Like, if it could be anybody in the world, who would it be?
Anybody in the world.
Anybody.
If we could find them, I would say MF Doom,
you
for
ain't gonna
sure.
find that guy
But
anywhere.
yeah, I don't think you can find that guy. So if anybody knows anything, let me know. But um, gosh, I just love weird stuff. You know what I mean? So like, I got a dream of like a song with like MF Doom and like CeeLo Green, you
Ooh.
know, or something with like me and like Missy Elliott. You know what I mean? Like I'm always thinking of people who are just kind of a little outside the box. I think we'd make something really cool together.
Mm.
When it comes to packaging your work, right? Because we're in 2020, everybody's got Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, people torrent, BitTorrent. What is the big part of your business when it comes to making money off of music? Because I feel like that's the part that most people, they need a little bit more education on, especially like recently there was like a big battle between Kanye and like Universal where he was like saying, I'm trying to get people back their masters and things like that. That was the whole crusade he took up. So I wanted to ask you, what are some of your business advice or tips to like young musicians trying to come into the space?
I'd say just try to own everything you can. You know, um, don't be in such a rush to go sign away something. With a label. I've signed with two, maybe three labels in my day, and like I've regretted every time I've done it. Like especially with what I do, it's not easy to like put into a neat little bow with a
Yeah.
rapper on it. You know what I mean? It's like okay, so it's a hip hop guy, but like he likes video games too. But like he's also like he used to be a teacher and like he likes comic books and like but like he's got bars though. But like what I'm saying? Like it's so hard to explain that to
But
somebody.
the
And for
bars
like
though.
yeah, but like for like for like independent artists can do and sound like and be inspired by anything. You mentioned Chance the Rapper. There's so many guys I listen to now, um, who are like inspired by wrestling, anime, all
Oh,
that stuff,
oh,
and they'll just make crazy music around it. And it's like I don't know if you heard JPEG Mafia. Like this
yes.
stuff is just wild. You know what I mean? But like he found his audience, and there's a group of people who love it. You know what I mean? Griselda is just like, okay, this is music that isn't gonna work on the radio, but yo, there's people who love it. So I think it's important to hold on, and as cliche as it sounds, like be true to yourself, and don't don't feel like you have to sound like the next whatever Jay-Z or Kanye or Drake, because at some point they were the different artists, what I mean, who were doing something so different. So that's important to keep in mind. Like you gotta be yourself. I would say hold on to your music, your ownership, like your masters, and pay your producers, man. This is something that like rappers just don't do.
No one ever wants to pay their fucking producer.
Yo, pay your producers, pay your engineers, pay your video, guys and girls, and your art people. Like, yo, take care of your people, because it's so hard to get a group of people around you who believe in you and want to work for you and with you. And if you're not taking care of them, man, eventually they're going to start fading off and stop answering.
Someone else is going to take care of them.
Yeah, you're going to wonder why. Like, oh, man, he got funny on me. He funny style. Like, nah, you just never paid him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, take care of the producer. The hip-hop producer is like the lowest on the totem pole when it comes to hip-hop, unfortunately. Yeah. You know what I mean? People go to BeatStars and go grab a beat for $15 and go to the moon with it, and then never look back at the guy who made the beat for them, So it's a real shame. So take care of your people, man. If you got anybody that wants to work with you, take care of them. You make 100, you give them 50, man. You just have to take care of your people. Yeah, that's to me the most important, because you'll lose people quickly if you're not a good person to work with.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. I think of a bar that Kanye dropped on St. Pablo. He was like, if I made 100 mil, I'd give 20 to Hove. I heard that's what we only do when we only had the stove and stuff like that. That made me think of that. But the thing I want to ask you, because you talked about radio for a second, do you think radio is as important today for an artist to break out versus other platforms like TikTok? Because me and Narz talked earlier about
Ricky Desktop.
Yes, that we were talking about how TikTok is such an essential piece now to get your stuff made. And also, do you think about TikTok for like creating your own beats? Like, I'm gonna make a beat that someone's gonna dance to. So it's a two-part question.
That's funny. I was listening to y'all talk about that, and I was like, dang, maybe I need to get on my TikTok game.
Yeah.
I have a TikTok. I used to just throw in there like if I wrote a song like for a wrestler or for like an anime, I would put clips of the anime or clips of the wrestler to my music and just throw it on there and just kind of see what happens. And but yeah, I never really like nurtured it, you know what I'm saying? I just kind of left it and see what would happen. But I feel like a lot of people think you have to choose one like social media platform and go hard on it, and that'll be your one. And I think it is kind of like that to a point, where like Twitter is my favorite. So like Twitter is where I'm at most of the day.
Really? Twitter is your favorite?
Yeah, Twitter's my favorite, man. Like I can just tweet all day. I can go super hard on tweets. I can just say whatever I want. Like Instagram, I can only post once a day. Like that's just me. I'm like, I don't want to be the guy who's posting a million things all day long. So yeah, I've nurtured the Twitter audience where they probably expect now for me to just be dropping stuff a lot there. But now I'm like, oh, I need to be giving my Instagram love, or I need to be giving my YouTube love, or now with Twitch, I'm able to create content that goes, kind of everywhere. But like, the TikTok thing, like I think I initially thought like, oh, TikTok's for kids. Like, let me just let the kids have that. You know what I'm saying? But there is like, I'm not gonna be up there doing silly dances. Me personally,
I'll do silly dances for you. How about this, Megan?
Okay, so I'll make you a beat.
Yeah,
Narz, you dance to it.
I will dance to it. We'll do it in the studio. It'll be great. Don't worry. I want you to be successful. We want you to be successful. We know Mela.
That's what's up.
She'll make your song viral on TikTok.
I will make you viral. I will make you viral.
Make me viral.
Make you viral.
That's what's up. Okay, I'm gonna send y'all some beats. If you come up with a cool dance to it, then yeah, let's go. I think there is a possibility for stuff like that. Like I never think about it, but like this label guy was telling me, like Sumi-san, he's like, yo, like that could really pop. You know what I mean? If you just come up with a silly little move to it, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then it could pop. And I was like, oh, you come up with the move, and then we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather kind of concentrate on the content creation, and let people do with it what they will. So we just have to get it into the hands of the person that comes up with the catchy dances.
Work, we got this. The first song we'll use is Sumi-san, because that was actually my favorite one since when I met you. and
Nice.
that'll be it. Good.
Okay,
Work.
let's do it.
What
Right.
just to go back on also like inspirations and influences, right? Are there any modern games today, because you're really big into Mega Man? Like that's like you were saying, not to talk about the whole plot of Mega Man 2, but are there any things today that you pull beats from or samples from or inspire you to make a song? Because like back in the day, like the 8-bit stuff, super iconic, chiptune stuff, super iconic. Today it's like really big orchestra pieces and like more elaborate.
Yeah, I like honestly as a beat maker and producer, I like working with like less to make more rather than more to make less, which is another option as well. Like Final Fantasy has phenomenal music,
Yeah.
so I'm always going through Final Fantasy, hearing something cool, and I'm like, well, let me flip that. Right now I'm into like movie scores, like taking a little bit of movie scores and doing some cool stuff with it. I'm a big fan of Austin Wintory. So pretty much anything he messes with, I'm all about it. From Journey is like really kind of where I first heard of him, but like just building from there and just like all the cool stuff. Assassin's Creed always has some cool stuff. I do like the orchestral sound and a lot of this stuff, but like I like minimalizing. So I'll look at a new retro game, like I call like something like Shovel Knight, or
Great
you know
soundtrack.
what I mean, where it's like yeah, like the music is dope. But it like so I like new retro games. So technically, the music sounds like it would be coming from an NES, but it's actually more advanced than an NES could have handled. So yeah, I like stuff like that a whole lot. There's what's that one I just played? Panzer Paladin. That was really cool. Like Spelunky's awesome. Celeste. So yeah, they're old school, but they're new. So yeah, I'm kind of rooted in the old school stuff, but. There's new stuff I do. I made a track out of Fall Guys, just kind of as a challenge in the middle of a stream. We were like, oh, the Fall Guys music kind of slaps. So,
Yo.
so we were like, all right.
I need to hear. Wait, is this on your Twitch stream that you made this?
Yeah, we worked on it on Twitch. The beat, the rap, I recorded it all on the Twitch stream. It's on Spotify now, and it's I think it's on my Bandcamp as well. It's called Fall Guys Rap, and it was just an hour, basically like an hour to make. So yeah, it's just a little short joint about like just playing Fall Guys,
I love it. Like it's like you're overflowing with creativity. Like you just keep going. Like and it's like I love that about you that you're humbling, you're modest, but you're really fucking talented. Excuse my language for saying that, but you're absolutely talented. And congratulations again to the best of luck for you with Ages Volume 2. Is there anything coming up in the pipeline that you can kind of like tease right now?
Before you do that, I just want to point out how much of a simp Narz is, because she has the beanie on.
She rocking the
I'm
beanie.
rocking your beanie.
You're the person who goes to the concert wearing the T-shirt. Huh?
Yep, that's me. I buy all your vinyls and all your
Ain't
merch.
nothing wrong with
I know.
that.
He
Ain't nothing
says
wrong with
I'm
that.
simping
Yo.
hard, and I'm like, I'm proudly simping. I don't care.
I would do it
No,
too.
that
I
is-
have like
that's
six
support.
Chance the Rapper hats, bro.
Hard, yeah.
See, that's love. That's love. Yeah, Narz came to the show. Was like, give me the vinyl, give me the shirt, give me the hat, give me everything. I was like, okay,
Everything.
if you insist, all right. You know what I mean? Like, so that's love. That's support. Like, we appreciate that so much. Like, I always say, like, a merchandise item can go so far. Like, just the simple thing of wearing somebody's hat on a stream. You know what I mean? Like, goes so far. Cause somebody be like, man, I really like her style. Like, where that, and then you're like, oh, glad you asked. Megaran.com, you know what I'm saying? so yeah, it's super dope. I appreciate the support. You want me to give you what's next?
Teasers, trailers,
All right,
anything.
let's see. All right.
Give
How
us
many,
some
how many
weed
people?
crumb.
How many people in the chat right now? How many people in
There's
here?
40 people in chat.
All right. Okay, guys, don't tell anybody, right? Me and two of my closest rap friends, Richie Branson and Kadesh Flow, we're working on a Halloween EP.
Ooh,
Called
spooky vibes.
Ghouls and Ghosts.
Oh,
We going mad spooky. We're doing all horror movies and horror games that we're flipping for this. We're doing something about Siren Head. We're doing something about Resident Evil. We're doing Saw, Jason. Like it's gonna be crazy. So that is coming the week of Halloween. Don't tell anybody else. Don't keep that.
I'm telling everybody. That's, oh, that's so exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're working super hard to get it out, but like, yeah, it's coming together crazy. I just wrote this. It's weird for me because I'm like the nice guy, positive rapper, positive vibes everywhere, and then like I gotta write songs about being Jason and slashing people up. So, but it's cool. Like, it's not bad. Like, it's fun. Like I said, it's just stretching that, those muscles and doing something different. So, I just wanted some spoopy vibes for the people. So it's coming.
So, matter of fact, like you said, stretching muscles. I think we need to stretch your freestyle muscles. I think we gotta get the lyrical exercise going. Yo, Zune, you got the beat? I sent you a beat on Discord in your DMs.
The beat's coming.
I need my man to drop a freestyle right now.
I just need to make sure, like, what's the like latency situation? Like, don't be having me sounding off beat.
I'm not trying. Listen, we gotta gig up, gig down. Hopefully it'll be good.
Right.
I'm gonna hit
we gotta make sure we good. Don't be like, they be like, man, Mega Ran can't ride the beat for nothing. Like, no, we gotta make sure that we good on the beat. But I'm good. Let's do it.
What happened, Zune? Maybe we send it to him. Yeah. I mean, actually, yeah, that might work if we send him so he can play it. So the beat is Mega Ran. Let me see. Zune. Yeah, just put it in chat. It's a beat he'll most definitely know. It's a very familiar beat, especially him as a producer. He knows what it is. There's no way he doesn't know what it is.
Oh, this is a good one. Oh, I know this beat.
Yeah, I know. I know you know that beat.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is good. Okay, can y'all hear that? I just want to make sure, like, if I play it, you hear it?
Matter of fact, so what we'll do is that we'll cue it. You'll give us a countdown of 3. We'll play it on our end, and then you'll play it on your. Because I don't think we can hear it. We can't hear from you.
Unless you put it on speaker, but.
Oh no, then that would sound crazy.
Speaker would sound horrible.
Yeah. All right. So we'll do it. Okay. Give us a count, and then we'll hear it on our end.
All right. Okay. I'm ready. I got the play button. I'm at 0. Are y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. We freestyling. Yo, put something in the chat. Yo, I heard him say, ain't nobody messing with the 368.
Ooh.
Hey, yo, I heard him say, ain't nobody messing with the 368. From NYC to AZ today. And we came through, but we ain't come to play. Unless we playing on games you heard today. I'm on that Genshin Impact sometimes. Anyway, I take a break to bust a couple dope rhymes. It be like, man, Mega Ran kick the fire line. And I be like, man, that's because it's about that time. Check the watch or check the clock. Mega Ran on point. Don't rep no Glocks, don't rep no blocks, or don't rep no sets. But I do my thing and I do it correct. And yes, yeah, Mega Ran, I'm in here. Got a haircut, then got some blue hair. Yeah, blue everywhere for Mega Man. Been rhyming 10 years, that's a veteran. Doing anything you said I never can, but nah. Break your vertebrae or your spine, cause I heard them say, hey, I heard them say, ain't nobody messing with the 368. Hey, yo, I heard them say, ain't nobody messing with the 368. This is how we do it here in the place today. Yeah, we do it early and we do it late. Yeah. Okay, what's happening in the chat? Anyway, I see a wow and an emote. That means that's my style. Doing my thing, I've been foul. Take my sonic boom just like I was Gal.
Oh!
Yeah, in the place to be with my styles. Yeah, we super late with 368. Hey. Doing my thing, man, I'm super straight. I do my thing and so it's like a tuba spray cause it's mad loud. Anyway, I'm in the crowd doing my thing and the hands are up now. Going left to right, we bless the mics. Mega Ran in the place, I'm a rep tonight. Yeah, breaking your vertebrae. If you heard them say, it's the 368 and we here today with these rhymes today. And we keep some fresh like Easter Sunday clothes, cause it's the ill flows. The bros keep on going with those flowings. Yeah, from West Oak Lane to Logan or Beat the Oven. Yo, the slogan, real hip hop, this ain't broken. And if it ain't broke, then you don't fix it. Mega Ran, keep it going, yo, I'm gonna get it. Yeah, freestyling, yo, I have to flow off the top and be like, yo, that's who in the place to be. I'm paid. Shout out to Narz and the homeboy Gabe.
Keep going!
Keep it great every day. They say keep going and I say okay. Yo, is he writing it? No way. It's all off the top, unorthodox. It should be illegal, man. Call the cops. If he's like, yo, make a random stop. I'll be like, nah, I think not. So anyway, I come back and keep on rapping. Make them happen. Yo, they be clapping at the end. Mega will do it again. Freestyle without no need for a pen. Yo, I'm repping it. Hardcore, that's definite. Shout out to Holly, last name Peppermint.
Oh, yes!
Yo, I'm getting it. Yo, and you know that flow. When I'm done, I'm gonna need one of those COD codes. Yo,
Alright, yo, Zoom, get him a code. Zoom, get him a code. Get him a code. Get him a code. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I can't think of a better fucking.
Well, that was
Over
fun.
9,000!
That was absolutely gorgeous.
Holy, I'm sweating. That was so good.
Yeah.
Yo,
that might have been my favorite episode right there.
give him a
Oh
code.
my god. Well, look.
Give me a code. Nah, it's all good.
Nah, we
you're
getting you a code.
You're getting a code.
Well, look. Mega, we all know you got to get to your next Grammy meeting. We don't want to take up any more of your time, but yo, dude, that was that was a beautiful freestyle. It was
Thank
a
you.
beautiful
You put me on the
interview.
spot, so I had to come through. You put me on the spot, so I always have to be ready. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. Thank you.
We did.
It's been a pleasure, man. Y'all are dope. So like, I don't know, have me back sometime.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
The fuck out of here.
No, this is not the first or last time that we're gonna have you.
He's gonna be competing with Danny for the most appearing.
Oh, probably.
guest.
No.
Word.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're gonna
Word.
be, we don't need any more plants.
Mega, where can people find you just to wrap this up?
Well, you can find me at megaran.com. You can find merch at megaranmerch.com. I stream 3, 4, sometimes more times a week at Twitch TV/mega_ran. I know that's mad annoying, but I'll be in the chat. Also, on Twitter at megaran. It looks like Meg Ryan when you look real closely, because like you'll be like, oh, I thought that, because of the big R and the big M. But no, it's Mega Ran. And just throw the Ran signal in the sky, the Mega Buster, and then I'll appear.
Also, what we do here at the end of every show is that we like to find somebody to raid, and you knowing a whole bunch of creators or people who make music on Twitch or play video games, is there anybody you want to raid in particular right now who's streaming?
Oh man, let me think.
I put you on the spot again. I know. I'm sorry.
You put me on the spot. You know what? You gotta raid my man Big Cheese if he's on right now.
Can we get a raid?
I don't know
queued
if
up
you
for
know
Big
Big Cheese, KIT. He's an amazing streamer. Dude, like, has shown me so much of the ropes on Twitch. Representing in Florida, comes out to the shows. Like, he slept on my floor during E3. Like, he's a real one. So shout out to Big Cheese.
Zune, do we have Big Cheese queued up for a raid? All right, she's looking him up right now.
Yeah, Big Cheese KIT is the name.
KIT.
Oh, and Megaran, before you go, really quickly, are we going to see Aegis Volume 2 on vinyl by any chance? Because you know I don't have a CD
Needs
player.
that vinyl.
I need that.
You are a vinyl head.
I am.
I'm trying. I have 2 other vinyls coming this year.
Oh, okay.
So I got to get those out first. We did
That's
a
fine. I'll buy those too.
Nice. We did a really good we did a successful pre-release kind of campaign for an album that I put out in 2010 called the Forever Famicom, which is like a bunch of 8-bit things that we released in Japan. There's a vinyl coming out of that in November, and then there will be a single of our new track Protoculture featuring Del the Funky Homo Sapien. So there'll be a 7-inch of that coming before the end of the year as well. And then maybe. we'll get some and then Black Materia, the Final Fantasy VII album, is coming early next year. And then Aegis.
This man has so
A lot of vinyl coming. A lot of
vinyls coming. You know what? I have a big shelf that's just ready for tons of your vinyl. So I'm ready for it. Let's do it.
So then, Narz, there's nothing else left to do but to tell them when they can find us again next week. Give them a little bit of info.
Yes, guys, if you're new to 368 or Super Late, Super Late particularly happens every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're looking for some previous episodes, you can check us out at youtube.com/368.
Yep.
So we've interviewed Harris Heller, Akinola, Your Princess.
Devin Nash.
Yeah, we've had so many amazing guests here, so check that out. But if you want to tune in for next week, who's our guest for next week?
Megaran.
Megaran. We're going to just keep having Megaran
What?
back.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Also, you could talk to your Alexa and be like, Alexa, play the latest episode of super late at 368, and you'll get queued up on Alexa as well, which I just think is so fucking cool.
So be sure to follow all of our socials. We are 368 on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. If you want to join our Discord, it's discord.gg/368. We do community events there once in a while. So if you're wanting to join in on the Phasmophobia fun, we're going to be doing some of that this weekend. So check that out as well.
We're also giving away COD Cold War codes right now within our Discord. If you join up at discord.gg/368, you get a chance to win a code for PS4, maybe 2 if you have a friend. See what happens. But Zune, do we have the raid ready? Yep. All right.
All right, guys.
There's nothing left to say.
There's nothing left to say or do. Megaran, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. See you guys soon.
All right.
Of course he had a rhyme.
I know.
Of course he had a fucking rhyme.
Wait, I did.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
And shout out to Zune.
Shout out to Zune.